We've got some
Hey,
fresh new
I'm
young
Luis.
talents
And I'm
doing some things that I know you
FONZI.
haven't
You're
heard
listening to the
before.
Content is Profit podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
That's awesome, but that's the wrong button, Fonzie. You want the cash. There you
Yeah.
go. That's right, guys. Today, end of the year episode, end of 2020.
That's
Aren't you
right.
happy, Fonzie?
I am excited for what's to come.
By the way, what about I'm Luis and I'm Fonzie?
I
You
threw
really
a
threw a wrench at the intro.
I threw a curveball right there. Last episode of 2020, I had to.
But I saved it, and that's what all that matters. Anyways,
I even pressed the wrong button.
that's right. Guys, first of all, we want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for being here, sticking with us through these 120 plus episodes. I think this is 125 or something.
Yep.
Published, I think, is like we're around 140, but like officially,
Yeah, this is
125 or so.
actually episode number 125.
Yeah, so
How incredible is that?
huge thank you for you guys sticking with us, and we'll share some numbers later here on the extent of the show. We're excited that you guys are here with us. I think
Sure,
so
if you want to share the numbers, that's totally fine. But today we're here to discuss the one thing we learned from 2020 and our big goal for 2021. So pretty much like a super fast and furious review of the year and what's coming ahead. I'm very excited.
You want to get started?
I will get started. I will get started. And first is, let's describe 2020 in one word. If you could describe it, your personal 2020 in one word,
And we want
what
you to
would
do
it be?
this. We want you to do this with us too. Like think
Yeah.
about that word in your mind that described 2020. Fonzie, what was that word for you?
Absolutely. For me, I think it was reflection. There was a lot of reflection for me in 2020. There were just so many highs, and I feel like there were some lows in there as well. But you know, when the year started, we didn't have content is profit, and we were still trying to figure things out, and it was
We
pretty,
didn't even had either content or profit.
or profit. Yeah, we had neither. And we had to figure out a lot of things along the way. Obviously, if you've tuned out throughout the show, but
tuned in, not
tuned
tuned
in,
out.
yeah, tuned in, yeah.
If you tune out, that's gonna be pretty hard to pay attention
Appreciate
to.
it, my friend.
You're welcome, my friend.
But also, personally, for example, like I broke up with my girlfriend. We spent 6 months apart, and now we're back. So in those months, there was a lot of inner reflection too.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Grow in the business. There was a lot of reflection in there to see, your business grows to the extent that you do. So we had to look inside and grow. So that is why my word in 2020 is reflection. I was debating between growth and reflection, but I think I like reflection a little bit better.
I think growth has been present since day one, 5 years ago since we started this, because it has, once you start a business, it you don't really know what you're signing up for.
Yep.
We're warning you, do it. It's fun, but there's going to be a ton of growth in there.
Absolutely.
My word, you didn't really give me too much time to think about this, but
Well, I didn't think about it either.
one that come to mind it has come to mind in a lot of conversations lately, especially yesterday with Chris, was perspective.
Oh.
Whoa. And there was a moment that defined literally 2020 for me personally, I think for the business too. Last year is when we started the 45 Live. That's when we really committed to publishing. If you've been tuning in to the episodes, there you go, Fonzie Lauren, please.
Appreciate it.
That's when really traction started to happen, when we started to being consistent, right? Then event happens, we discover dream customer through conversation, through people that, we're sharing this story, which is some part like, that's what you do through publishing. You start getting feedback from that audience, just in this case was in a live event, right? Then we do it again, we get more traction, and then COVID hits, right? And there was a specific day that I would never, ever forget this, and this story probably is like the 20th time I tell it, but I don't care because it's so good. is when we get those phone calls, right? And 80% of the clients are like done. 80% of the sales, the income that we were getting at the time as freelancers. Hey, we want to highlight that.
Bye-bye.
We thought we were a company where we're freelancers, right? And we're in this journey of discovering what is the service that we offer, what is the thing that we do, what is the message, who we talk to, and all of a sudden, that's it. Bye-bye money. Bye-bye. And Fonzie, you know, I tell this, he slapped me in the face twice. Not physically, but with his words.
With my spirit. My
spirit.
My soul slapped his face. It's like, wake up.
And it's crazy because, you know, we talked about this in our day-to-day, with our families, at home, with the people that we talk to. And it's, you know, let's stay positive. You know, what's the worst that can happen? But somehow when we deal with our own business, that tends to be an issue. And we were talking to one of our wonderful guests, Rim Harbat. I think I say it right, or Him Harbat. Right?
Yeah.
Is that it, Giorgio? Okay. If you're listening, Giorgio, I think I'll listen well. Rim, if I butchered your name,
you deviated.
Yes.
Go back in track, please. Back in track.
Back on track.
Back on track, guys.
What happened to your English today?
I don't know. I've been thinking too much in Spanish today.
Yes, but we're actually having that conversation with Rima, and she's like, "Oh my god, like this is what I deal with, like what I talk to with all my students, and then when it's our business, same thing." And she's not the only one that has done that, and she's doing amazing, right? And for me, that was a defining moment, because that's when we decided to dive into the show, in the Content is Profit. We never thought it was gonna, you know, make this impact. And when I talked earlier about numbers, it's like we are literally in 55 countries, more than 500 cities. The extent of the people that we've been able to connect, not only on the show, the people that listen to us, the feedback that we get every single day is just incredible. And that was the moment that changed everything, because we changed perspective. We were like, let's try things out. Let's have fun. Let's be ourselves. Let's not wait for anybody else to give us permission to do this. Let's actually go ahead and do it the way that we want to do it, right? Because remember that, like, the coach that we adore, right, Steve, he told us when we asked him that, hey, as an attractive character, who should be running the show? Should we do it but the two of us or one person, right?
Man, you just throw Steve under the bus.
Well, Steve, we do love you, man. Like, and that's what he believes, right?
I know. I'm just saying it because in all the other episodes, we've never mentioned who it was. Or like, you know, we have one coach that told us this thing, but I guess you just throw him under the bus. That's fine. We still love Steve.
But full disclosure, without Steve and without joining his mastermind,
we wouldn't be here.
We would not be here. So
right,
proceed. So we stand up and we ask him, like, hey, should we run the show as one person or two, right? And inside, I think we wanted to do it as two. Like, that was a feeling that we had. But his advice was actually go do it as one. And I think that is the one thing that we've done differently to everything else that he's said, because doing it in twos, or us, both of us, allowed us to execute, basically. Because sometimes you're down and I push you. Sometimes I'm down and you push me. And
like
it's been a great support system. Like today I pushed you. Anyways, my word perspective. I hope that was a
good. Yeah, because this was supposed to be a Fast and Furious episode.
We have, and it's good. We have 10 minutes.
You started babbling over there, but I loved it. Thank you so much. And for those listening, I hope you already wrote down your word for 2020.
That's right.
And let me tell you, I want you to look at that piece of paper right now, or your phone, whatever you wrote it, and ask yourself, is this word a negative one or a positive one? Because I think that goes back to perspective, right? Yes, there have been lots of things in 2020 that haven't played out the right way for a lot of people, but there's always something that we can get, right? Again, like, yes, COVID happened. A lot of businesses went down. A lot of people suffer because of what's happening. But we are the ones that have the power and decide whether we're going to look at 2020 as a miserable year or a year that we decided to learn and grow. So if your word is a negative one, I'm going to challenge you to write another one in a more positive manner. Now, let's move on to the next section. I was the
one rambling?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next section, which is, what was your biggest takeaway from 2020? Just one. The one big takeaway. I mean, you kind of said
Just
it.
start.
You kind of said it already.
No,
No, it wasn't that one. Oh,
perspective.
okay, cool. So no,
What was it?
I thought it was the attractive character that you were talking
No,
about.
no. There's no. I mean, that is
Alright.
a takeaway.
All right, that's
It's not
a takeaway.
the takeaway.
Okay, perfect. So my biggest takeaway from 2020, there's many, so it is very difficult to pick. But the first one that comes to mind right now, it is environment. That is the one
good.
thing that we
That's good.
change literally in the 5 years that we've been trying to do BIZBROS. And I'm like trying to look at the camera. We're not streaming this, but I'm like looking at the
I
camera
know
over
this,
here.
this is private special
I know.
episode for the podcasters. Thank you
I
for
know.
listening.
So for me, it was environment because it's the only thing that we've changed in the last 5 years. We finally joined this network of successful people. And that's literally when we started to grow and started to see changes.
Yes.
So now I'm asking myself, how can I apply this in other aspects of my life, right? For example, do I want to be fitter in 2021? Well, let me search for a community that loved fitness and that they make it easy, frictionless to do it as well, right? For example, when I broke up with Mandy back in, I think it was May, I don't remember. But one of my getaways was to, go on exercise. And I found this group of people that love to do yoga. And I'm not a yogi or anything, but I was like, you know what? It's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool to do it. And it's pretty cool to get to know new people. And I was pretty consistent. I was doing it consistently. So I think it applies for everything. For us in the business has been huge. And obviously that is going to be a huge part of our 2021 with the business. But now I want to see how can I implement that in 2021
Maybe,
in new areas of my life.
Maybe we can create a content profit environment. What do you think? If you're listening,
I like
let
it.
us know. Let us know. Should we
like it,
should
like
start
it.
a community, an environment? I think so. We received some feedback operationally. We'll see how that works. We talk all the time about
Yeah.
capacity.
That's right. If you're listening to this, please
Let us
shoot,
know.
shoot us a DM
Yeah.
at BIZBROSCO on Facebook and Instagram. We want to know if you would love to be a part of a, embracing community where everybody, is working to help each other out to move towards their goals and achieve all the amazing results that you have in the horizon.
Can be content specific or can be anything specific, really, because everything that we talked, content is really the vehicle that we talk about here, but everything can be applied to your everyday life. To me, where's the biggest, what was the question?
The one big takeaway from 2020.
Hashtag smooth operator, remove the friction. I think this was huge for me, especially on the operation side of things. For those that know the insights, Fonzi is more of the creative guy. He's, looking for amazing ways to get the word out and do awesome things.
Living up in the cloud.
Living up in the clouds, on the clouds, over the clouds. I don't know. And,
all around the clouds.
And then I kind of, throw him the lasso and bring him back and be like, okay, can we really
so
do
are you
this?
comparing yourself to Wonder Woman right now?
I just saw the movie yesterday, and she's beautiful and amazing. And my wife is like,
the lasso.
the lasso. Anyways, remove the friction, because guess what? Then we have to create and execute consistently, right? So for us, that was massive. The first time, you guys know the story, when we started the podcast, 2 cameras, the lights, we had to set up only an hour to set up. And imagine we do this 3 times a week now. So those are 3 hours that we would lose if we had that process. Now for us, set up is literally 2 minutes, right? And then we jump on and we do it, and the different things that we can do ahead of time to remove that friction. That's just one example. Then we've implemented it in the service itself, on the process with the team. We're always finding these friction points and seeing, okay, how can we improve this? How can we remove it so we can make sure that we deliver the best experience possible consistently, right? So I think removing the friction, that is something that I literally have next to my desk right there. Hashtag remove the friction, smooth operator, so I can be reminded, because often we tend to complicate things. We tend to add steps, right? And one thing that we've practiced, and you've been doing it with the podcast process, and I've been doing it with all the other back-end processes in the business. It has been, okay, I write the SOP, the procedure, and then it's like, how can I make this a little bit more effective, right? And yesterday we were talking with one of our team members, right? And that was the question. It's like, okay, this person is specifically writing high volume captions for our content. Yep. Like we said, we publish about 400 times a month, which sounds very impressive and amazing. But it didn't start that way, right? because we were able to remove the friction, he has to write a ton of captions every single week, not 400. He writes a lot less, and we can dive into that in another episode. But the same thing.
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. I'm almost done, Fonzie. Wow, dude. Okay. Example. Anyways, we asked him, hey, write the process down, and then it's like, how can we scale it? How can we move? How can we remove the pieces that are not necessary, or that so we can scale faster? So remove the friction. Fast and Furious.
Good job. Big round of applause, everyone.
Let's go.
The reason we are Fast and Furiousing right now is because we actually have another show coming in. Yeah, it's called Content Chop Chop, and it's pretty cool. You guys should tune in one of these days.
Yeah.
That being said, now I want you to look at your notes and ask yourself again, what was your biggest takeaway of 2020? Our recommendation is something that brought great results in 2020, so you can keep doing it consistently in 2021.
Hi, Fonzie.
Right? Something that you can
plan.
add in your arsenal. Now, last question. Write it down in your notes.
It's going to be like 3 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
So you got a minute and a half.
Quick. Fast and Furious singing over here.
Fast and Furious.
The last question is, what is your one big goal for 2021? Now, let's do this. Do you want to do it in a personal basis or a business?
No, I want to do a
basis?
business.
Business, well, or one big goal, and I'm sure we agreed on this because we already talked about it.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so. We want to have a predictable sales system in our business. So that's going to be our main focus. Predictable sales system.
Yeah, I love it. What does that mean? That means that we know exactly what is the business coming in every single month, every single week. So we already put pieces in place. These things started in motion. So I think we're in good pace for 2021.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a very good pace, because once we achieve that, we can hopefully scale that predictability, if you want to call it that way.
Yeah,
and then you increase your resources, and then you can serve more people and help more people, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now,
you want to talk the personal one? I think you want to do the personal one.
I have a lot of personal ones that I want to do, but
we don't have time.
All right, cool. Well, I was going to say writing. I want to do more writing on
you
2021.
just said it anyways.
But I did. I wasn't clear, you know?
Okay, What
will be yours?
I'm up for it, but are you gonna write the emails that you've been promising?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yara, by the way,
that's part of it.
Yara, if
are you throwing me under the bus right now?
Yes.
This should be 2020 throwing people under the bus end of year special.
You've been talking to me about writing those emails like last 3 months. Well, actually like 5. But I encourage more writing. I love it. Go ahead, Fonzie. You got my encouragement.
You just tapped myself on the back like 2 times. But it's okay, guys. That's coming in hot in 2021. Yes. We're gonna blast your email, but we're not gonna blast your email. We are going to start. We already have an email list.
They have some,
but we haven't been emailing people. But we want to email some real valuable stuff, and we have a really cool newsletter idea, which we need to discuss a little further.
Yes.
Let us know if you would like a monthly newsletter about content analysis on other creators, what is working with content that can turn into profit, maybe analyzing some of the biggest creators' cadence. How do they post? What is their framework to create content? For example, Chris Doe, we had him here yesterday.
Yeah.
What if we analyze how he produces his content, and then we share with you, so you have an extra tool in your arsenal right there, like the best team in the world, Arsenal.
Wow. I just saw that we're wearing the soccer jerseys.
That's right. So let us know if you like that idea. Again, it will be like a monthly newsletter with all these goodies. We're still working on the details. If you're interested, shoot us a DM at BIZBROS Co.
Yeah, another possibility. We've talked about a specific content is profit app with all the content right there on your fingertips. I think this is more like plan B, plan C, but I think it'll be really cool. So if you let us know, like maybe, Fonzie looked at me like, are you insane? But I'm like, I really like the idea of having all this content, all these amazing guests that we've been having, right, for the past year. It's amazing value for everybody to have easy access. Yes, all the content is out there in the interwebs, and it will be on YouTube as well. But what if you have it at the fingertips in your app, where you can rewatch it and re-listen anytime that you want? Okay.
I think that'll be epico.
Okay. I think that's it, man.
Yeah, those were the
Happy
3
New
questions.
Year.
Wait, for those that have your notes, make sure you have those written down, right?
Yes.
So what was your word for 2020? Biggest takeaway from 2020? And what is your one goal for 2021?
Send them over.
Business and personal. If you want to snap a picture and put hashtag golden boulder or hashtag too juicy, too tasty.
Wow, so juicy, so good. Clearly, Fonzie does not know his hashtags. Okay, hashtag so juicy, so good. Hashtag golden boulder. Tag us at BIZBROS to make sure that we see it, we can share it. Let us know and send it over in DMs. Okay, Fonzie.
In DMs.
In the DMs. All right. For those, you guys, thank you so much. Happy New Year. I hope this end of 2020 is amazing. You can get to spend it with your family, with your loved ones, and you have an incredible start of 2021. With that being said, thank you. And go ahead and subscribe. Hit smash that subscribe button and follow us on social media at BIZBROS.
That is right. And if you find this episode impactful and all the rest that we did in 2020, don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.